All right. So, obviously, if you're watching this video, then obviously you have watched the 28-minute special that they had for Bluey. And will say that this was an immaculate episode with the music, and everything was just amazing. I definitely loved everything about this, and also the music that they had with it was just beautiful. So, let's jump in and check out this Valskibum video.
I can't do it.
Does anyone have any tissues?
Does anyone have any tissues?
So, Bluey's new episode, The Sign, is the biggest episode in this show's history. The story centered around two things. A sign on the healer's front lawn that their house is for sale, and the wedding between Uncle Red and Frisky. Both of these events were carefully balanced together so they felt different, but with similar themes. The Sign is special because not only did it feel like a mini movie, but it also deviated from the formula set by traditional episodes. There was no fun game or imagination. Things actually happened. There were stakes. In my Blue Dog cartoon? What? Were the healers really about to move? Would the wedding happen or not?
Yeah, like they were giving like the implications that like obviously Bluey didn't want to move, and then obviously like the whole wedding like being called off and all the other stuff. Like it was giving like that tension of like what's gonna happen, what's happening, like there's there's that, and then obviously we have the little sprinkle of like some changes of character developments that we got in this whole story, and that's what's amazing out of this.
How did everyone feel about all of this? The episode is about change and accepting the everlasting flow of life, that things can't stay the same forever, that we inevitably move on. In the process, Bluey proves once again that the show is a masterpiece of our times. If you say you're not crying, you're probably lying. For example, take this beautiful scene. Bluey and Chili talk about what they really think of moving. For the first time in a while, Chili drops her facade. She reveals her true feelings and breaks down. Of course she doesn't want to move. It's where the kids took their first steps. It's a house that means more than words can describe. And her opening up is a sign that the parents are just as lost as the kids. Part of the lesson is that we don't know if big changes will lead to happiness. The future...
True. That's what I'm saying. Like the little things that adults get out of this show like has a broader message, because obviously like if you're a kid watching this, like you'll see like the adventure and you'll see like, oh no, they're moving, like I don't want them to move, like obviously I watched like the whole 3 seasons of this, and obviously like you just get that sense. But obviously for an adult watching this, like you see like it resonates to something in the past that they also have to go through like the whole change. And I know that I, for one of them, like have experienced that with obviously like my friends, like they had to move on from their places because obviously like where they ended up going with their careers and stuff, like they had to move, and obviously it did hurt me because obviously like I made friendships with them, like some of them for very long, and some that were short, but still it felt like I knew them for forever. And when that happens, like you don't know like what's gonna happen. Like you'll see them into the future, but you don't know when. And like changes could be for like the better, or it could be like for like how Bandit said, like am I making this decision out of a mistake? But if it is, then obviously like you just gotta like power through it, because obviously like change happens and like you just can't stop it. So, yeah.
Future is impossible to predict. We'll see is a phrase they use. It may
we'll
not
see.
be satisfying, but it's reality. We don't know how things will turn out. For Bluey to turn such a real human concept into a haha cartoon dog episode is unbelievable. The Sign also puts a heavy split down the middle between focusing on kids and focusing on adults. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. You can't tell me this is a preschool cartoon anymore. And spoiler alert, in the episode's final moments, the characters ponder about where their life will go and what they'll do next. After coming to a few deep realizations, Bandit stares down the sign with a purpose. He uses all his strength to pour it out, then has an emotional moment with his family. They start to appreciate their house, their life, and each other so much more. That's what brings them happiness. But at the end of the day, Bluey is such a beautiful show. It's an escape where every episode feels like a warm hug. Thanks for everything.
Yeah, and obviously, like, the opening to season 4 of this is gonna be just great. With obviously the new stuff that like has been developed. With obviously some characters that we haven't seen in probably like a while, now being brought back, and we'll probably be seeing them. Some new characters that were introduced into this last episode will probably be introduced as well in this coming season. Everything just felt amazing about this. Like how Valskibum said, like every episode feels like a warm hug, and it does, because obviously like you have the adventure of like seeing what Bluey and Bingo go through along with their parents, but there's also the little messages that you get from this, like as you watch it, and it's really heartfelt for sure. And dude, it's just an amazing. Everything was amazing. The show and that episode for sure. And obviously with this one, sums up everything. So, damn, that was a good episode. Awesome. And video, amazing both.